Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singatoka.
My name is Alfriti and Today FM rocks here in Tavua.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilaiti Ambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks here in Osur.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, PM to engage with Fijians through social media. 10 charged for rape last month. And PM meets Indonesian government officials.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spade.
The increasing false and distorted claims about the government and their work on social media has forced Prime Minister Vurengam Bainimarama to launch a go-to Facebook page. This page will allow the head of the nation to engage directly with Fijians accessing the social media platform, and the PM answering any queries that Fijians may have. Felipe Naikaso reports.
For the first time ever since the establishment of the Fijian government, Prime Minister Vurengam Bainimarama will be available for all Fijians on social media on a regular basis.
By cutting out the middlemen and communicating more directly with those we are sworn to serve, we take control of our own message.
Bainimarama revealed more about this engagement on FBC's Radio Fiji 1 this afternoon, adding that he'll be able to speak directly to Fijians who might have any queries about the running of the government.
But if anyone makes an unfair statement about how civil service functions, or if they tell an outright lie about the state of affairs, it is your duty to correct the record. Not in the interest of any one political party, but in the interest of the truth.
The Prime Minister says the government will take control of its own message and not allow for any type of distortion created by certain news outlets or on social media.
You may be unfairly attacked or unjustly portrayed, especially on Facebook. You may have staff in your ministries leak information to the media and to politicians. You may have your statements taken totally out of context for the sake of an attention-grabbing headline. To that, I say, welcome to the club.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister highlighted the civil service is far from perfect as it's living with a damaging legacy of privilege, nepotism and outright corruption that once plagued the governance of the country. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
A 38-year-old preschool caretaker was charged with rape of a 4-year-old girl last month. The recent statistics by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution's Rape and Sexual Offences Statistics, 10 people were charged with a total of 15 counts of separate incidents. Anna Ravulo reports.
In the past month alone, there were 10 rape cases, 3 charged for attempted rape and 1 each of abduction with intent to have carnal knowledge and indecent assault. A 42-year-old police officer was charged with the rape and attempted rape of a 17-year-old girl who was residing with his family. A 38-year-old man was charged with the rape of his 5-year-old daughter, while in another incident, a 56-year-old man was charged with the rape of his 44-year-old niece. In another incident, a 16-year-old boy was charged with the attempted rape of a 13-year-old girl. A 17-year-old boy was charged with the rape of his 7-year-old male cousin, while another 17-year-old boy was charged with the rape and abduction with intent to have carnal knowledge of 2 12-year-old girls. The DPP adds a 22-year-old man was also charged with the attempted rape of his 50-year-old aunt. A 34-year-old man was charged with the rape of a 56-year-old woman, and in another incident, a 59-year-old man was charged with the rape and indecent assault of a 20-year-old woman. The man is already serving an 11-year sentence for another rape case. Anna Ravulo, FBC News.
Prime Minister Vurengam Bainimarama met with the Indonesian government representatives yesterday concerning the state of infrastructure at the newly rebuilt Queen Victoria School in Tailevu. The Indonesian government, under Fiji's Adopt a School program, stepped in to rebuild QVS after it suffered substantial damage during Cyclone Winston in 2016. Ali Kimbia reports that 2 years later, the state of infrastructure has deteriorated.
The Prime Minister has revealed he met with the Indonesian government after witnessing firsthand the state of QVS infrastructure and wants a review of the work that was done in 2016.
I met up with His Excellency the Ambassador yesterday and we've discussed ways how we can get the QVS school back to what it was before.
Speaking to FBC News, the Indonesian ambassador says they're ready to step in to do repair works again.
If the Indonesian government is invited formally again to take part in the further rehabilitation of QVS, I myself as the ambassador of Indonesia here in Fiji, I shall convey that request to Capital, and I think I hope Capital will do the consideration and decide as soon as possible.
While there has been no confirmation yet if the Indonesian government will carry out repair works at the school, the Prime Minister on Wednesday has issued a directive to his officials to begin repair work at QVS as soon as possible. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
More than $300 million has been invested in the Tertiary Education Loan Scheme since its inception in 2014. The scheme has given opportunity to over 55,000 students to pursue their education over the last 5 years. Pranita Prakash reports.
The Tertiary Education Loan Scheme Board says the scheme has had a positive impact on many Fijians.
It's a good thing going forward. Government's increased our budget, as you know. We have about 300 million now that will fund these scholarships and these loans. Obviously the new people into the tertiary education and also the existing people.
Meanwhile, the Fiji Revenue and Customs Services has revealed that students have been complying with repayments. Tails is payable once the student graduates and starts working.
There are many students who are, if I can say, with great honesty. As soon as they found a job, they've made an effort to contact or make direct deposits.
The outstanding tails amount owed stands at $229 million. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
All employers must comply with the new employment leave provisions. Employment Minister Parveen Bala says this is under the Employment Relations Budget Amendment Act 2018 that came into effect from January 1st. Bala says the Act provides for 5 working days family care leave, 5 working days paternity leave, and 98 days maternity leave. He says an investigation into the family care leave provision with Quality Print is now being resolved. Bala has also urged all workers to follow proper procedures when applying for leave and to use them for the right purpose. Still to come, trial reveals accused was aware of drugs. Anandi Village clan partners with FSC. Details after the break.
Bula, nevang gomal kay leloma, ngongai nakas untuk makarong ng Bula FM, namban 2 na seri.
Hoya ubasit sai lambasa, ya untuk talita na warong ng Bula FM, namban 2 na seri.
Guya do tumeli ako na tao no hinga toka, talita kina na warong ng Bula FM, namban 2 na seri.
Wana tunga ng Bula FM, namban 2 na seri namban.
Nevang go fani na tao no go singa toka, kita untuk talita kana Bula FM, namban 2 na seri.
Bula FM, namban 2 na seri.
The state's 7th witness in the trial of the Australian couple charged for drug-related offences has informed the court that John Nikolic was aware of the drugs on board the Shenanigans. Vasiti Thonga, customs officer, says the man admitted to his wife that the drugs were allegedly placed in the bag by a Colombian marine officer. Catherine Krishna has been following the case and filed this report.
On the 5th day of trial, the custom officer says John Nikolic informed his wife he owed a lot of money to some dangerous people. He also told his wife that he will be gone for a while and requested her to look after their babies. Yvette was emotional and questioned John as to why he wanted to get involved in such illegal activities. John then requested to go to the washroom but fainted upon his return. Yvette then went to the washroom and returned with a plastic container which had vapors in it and claimed that her husband had allegedly overdosed on drugs. The customs officers also identified the container which had 15,000 American dollars, a fully loaded revolver and ammunition in a packed named Aguila ammo. The trial continues on Monday. Catherine Krishnaev, BC News.
2 former police officers charged with 1 count of murder pleaded not guilty to their charge today. Kelepin Duri, Tautau Madala, Kolinisau, and Selema Tikoena Burevere appeared at the High Court in Suva this morning. It is alleged that the 2 murdered Chosua Lalauvaki following an altercation outside a Suva nightclub on September 2, 2018. Mr. Lalauvaki died at the Colonial War Memorial Hospital on October 11th. As a result of injuries allegedly sustained by him as a result of police assault. The matter has been adjourned to 18th April 2019. A joint venture has been signed between a village clan in Korvuto Nandi and the FSC to develop a 77-acre land in Tunalia for sugarcane farming. The venture will also allow the FSC to provide necessary training on cane farming and also open up employment opportunities for the villagers. Felipe Naikaso has more.
The partnership will assist these landowners work with FSC to utilize more than 70 acres of land that will benefit their families and the future generation.
You now have put a lot of pressure on us because every day our staff have to do above and beyond to make sure this farm becomes a model farm.
Money earned from farming on the land will be split amongst the two, with 70% to the landowners and the remainder to the Fiji Sugar Corporation.
We are very confident that we will meet our target that FSC will tell us later because the land is very healthy.
I assure you that from myself and from my staff that we will never let you down and break that trust, because once the trust is broken, very hard to repair.
The unemployed youths of the clan have been identified to pioneer the venture once the land is cleared and ready for farming. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
The Fiji National University has revealed that the college has not reviewed their tuition fees for some years. While presenting their annual report for 2017 before the Standing Committee on Social Affairs, Vice-Chancellor Nigel Healy says the consequences of this is that they are increasingly dependent on operating grants from government. Healy says the operating grant is much higher for the college compared to the University of the South Pacific, as USP revises their fees each year and is more expensive. He says the college needs to revise its tuition fees.
We think that we need to begin a tuition fee review and to undertake that, just to try and rebalance it a little bit, because otherwise we're just constantly seeing the tuition fee decline in real terms. But we understand that needs to be done sensitively because students are funding this through the loans from TELS.
Years of hard work, struggle and dedication has finally paid off for over 40 barristers and solicitors who were admitted to the bar today. While most of the new lawyers had legal backgrounds and experience in the legal fraternity, others switched ship later on in life. Kritika Kumar reports.
Randakai Waleseroisavo thought cutting copra and weaving mat on her island home in Lau was an ideal walk until her father realized she had so much potential and encouraged her to study law. She says a big challenge was adapting to the fast and changing lifestyle in Suva during her first year in law school.
Being fresh from the village, I had to adapt to the expectations of being a law student and the assignments and back to typing and computer and all. I was sort of back to new, it was a new thing for me.
Teresia Rambuku, a former primary school teacher for over 2 decades, decided to study law after being inspired by her lawyer husband.
Challenges were to do with finances. My becoming a lawyer has been a lot of struggle and a lot of sacrifices, and nothing has been easy. However, I must say that nothing is impossible.
Meanwhile, Chief Justice Anthony Gates encouraged the newbies to do their best in the legal fraternity.
If it is at all possible, try to select a position where you have a chance to learn the nuts and bolts of your profession.
A total of 42 barristers and solicitors were admitted to the bar in Suva today. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
Coming up in sports later with Jamie, more on our Fiji Sevens team, but here's Rachel with the latest in business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up after the break. Personal remittances surpass traditional exports. And in growing Fiji, new road maintenance to begin in April. Stay with us.
Dola, I am Eleanor. For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singapore. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Yeni Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Coral Coast, Singapore. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Marida. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger, Singapore.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Business tonight, the Reserve Bank has revealed that the money received from personal remittances has surpassed the combined contribution of our traditional exports of sugar, gold and fish. Governor Arif Ali says personal remittances is a significant source of foreign reserves that continues to grow rapidly. A significant amount of personal remittances are collected from Fijians overseas, sending money to their families here at home.
Some of this goes into consumption. But what we have also noted, a lot of it goes into very basic things like paying for children's school fees before, buying their education thing, which is again investment. Some of it goes into paying sometimes, the bills are due and it is paid for weddings, paid for funerals and so forth.
The governor says it's interesting to see more Fijians becoming financially savvy in terms of spending.
A lot of these unit trusts as well as life insurance companies, they've gone and spoken to a lot of, particularly our rugby players, and you'll be surprised some of them earn more than most of us here. They earn hundreds of thousands of dollars. A lot of them now are investing in life insurance policies, they're investing in unit trust, they're investing in property as well. Of course, you would know that also that when they come to Fiji, then they have a lot of the so-called friends who hang out with them so that they can spend on more of consumption goods and nightclubs as well. But I think the bottom line is that there's so much we can do.
Personal remittances were over $300 million from January to August last year, as per the September quarterly review. And Sanifa joins us now with the latest from the international markets.
The Australian and New Zealand dollars held steady versus the greenback today as the Federal Reserve's more dovish stance and improved prospects for a U.S. Sino trade deal boosted investor risk appetite. Markets will be focusing on U.S. job data due later tonight. Analysts note that any weakness in the labor market and a fall in wage inflation would only reinforce the dovish outlook for the U.S. dollar this year. The euro currency has not managed to gain despite broader dollar weakness, as growth and inflation in the Eurozone remain weaker than expected. Meanwhile, the British pound is expected to remain volatile in the coming weeks. That's all from HFC Bank for this week. Vinaka.
Thanks, Danifa. On to the exchange rates as it was set this morning. A mixed day to end the week, with Fiji dollar gaining against the US dollar, the PNG Kina and the euro, while it declined against the Chinese yuan and the Japanese yen, as well as the Aussie and Kiwi dollars. Taking a look at the commodities market, a drop after 2 consistent days of gains. Oil prices closed at $53.66 a barrel. Gold was down as well to close at $1,317 per ounce, and silver closed at $15.98 an ounce. And in growing Fiji tonight, the Fiji Roads Authority has deferred new maintenance contract for the Central and Northern Divisions. Chief Executive Jonathan Moore says the decision was made keeping in mind the cyclone season. Ritika Pratap has more.
Road maintenance in the Central and Northern Divisions were to commence from January 1st. However, this has been deferred until April.
We wanted to make sure we got through the cyclone season without a new contractor in place. It made sense to have the knowledge and have the resource available with the existing contractor and not bring a new one in and suddenly be hit by a cyclone. So that was a bit of a logistical decision we made.
The China Railway 5th Group are the contractors for the Central Division, while the FRA is still finalizing the contractual issues for the North. Meanwhile, work on 17 bridges will begin soon. Jonathan Moore says they are reviewing the tenders with 3 major contracts to be awarded soon.
In those 3 contracts, we focused on the bridges that are really in jeopardy. So we've carried out repair works to hold them for another few years, and now we're going through the process of actually replacing them.
The government has in the last 5 years invested over $750 million to improve infrastructure around the country. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
And that's a wrap from the business desk for this week. Jamie joins you now with all the very latest in sports.
Thanks, Rachel, and good evening in sports tonight. The latest from the Fiji Sevens side ahead of Sydney tournament. And an opportunity for a youngster to be at this year's Rugby World Cup. Details after the break.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nasori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Pritika from Jax Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Fiji Airways men's sevens coach Gareth Baber has made a change to his 12-member squad which won the Hamilton title. Heading into the Sydney tournament tomorrow, Apanisa the Kaumbalavu has replaced Paula Nranisi-Nukula in the squad. Baber says the Kaumbalavu has proven himself this week and knows the forward has what it takes to get the job done. He adds that Nranisi-Nukula will step back into 13th man as they manage his workload and return to full strength. Baber says they are fortunate to have this kind of depth in their ranks and confirms all other squad members were at full fitness. The Fiji Sevens team will not change too much of its game plan for the Sydney tournament this weekend. Coach Gareth Baber says their pool opponents will come fully prepared to beat the national side and they will need to play smart rugby. Vasil Prasad reports.
Fiji Sevens coach Gareth Baber believes they are aware of the threats they will come across in the Sydney tournament from tomorrow.
There's tactics that we use against different teams and every team will produce something different against us. But essentially, you know, it is an old adage and a bit of a cliche. You do what you do better than anybody else and, you know, you're doing some way towards winning a game.
Baber has agreed it's difficult to get a back-to-back win in a leg, but they will try their best to create history.
It's very difficult to repeat performances. There's a huge amount of fatigue or effort, things that we have raised with the players, and the players know is that last year, certainly a number of our tournaments were won in the second leg.
Captain Kalione Nasoko says they are under no pressure despite not winning the Sydney title yet.
Depending on things that have been doing over the couple of weeks and a game from last week, we'll do analysis from coach and we'll start building from first game.
The Fiji Sevens side is pooled with England, Samoa and Japan. The Sevens Gladiators will open their campaign against Japan at 12:43 p.m. tomorrow. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
The Australia Sevens team has received a major boost with two of its senior players cleared of injury ahead of the Sydney tournament this weekend. The Fiji Airways Fijiana Sevens side defeated Russia 21-12 in its second game at the Sydney tournament this afternoon, but went on to lose to Ireland 24-19 in its final pool match this evening. Fiji Airways Flying Fijians head coach John McKee is confident his squad has enough strength and depth to deal with the decision by two of its overseas-based players to retire from international rugby. DHL Express is offering an opportunity of a lifetime for a child to deliver the match ball at the Flying Fijians versus Wales pool match at the Rugby World Cup in Japan later this year. The last World Cup match ball carrier for the Fiji versus England game was at the launch today at the St. Marcelin Primary School to share his experience. Meli Tavanga has more.
The memories of delivering the Rugby World Cup match ball to Fiji versus England match in 2015 is still fresh in the mind of 17-year-old Manueli Raungeunge.
Could say, looking back at the experience, it was just like a dream to be able to deliver that ball. I just want to thank DHL for that lifetime and opportunity of a lifetime and experience. And I know one of you kids sitting here will be given the opportunity to be able to deliver the ball this year at Japan.
It's surely a lifetime opportunity, and for the kids who want to try their luck, there are simple instructions to follow.
We're going to use baseball.
So I'm not sure if you've got Facebook or your parents have got Facebook, but it's really simple to enter the competition this year. You just click on the DHL Express Fiji Facebook page, you click like, and an entry form will pop up. You fill in the entry form, and that's it. It's as simple as that. But what we really want to know is, in 20 words or less, you tell us why you should be the lucky child to deliver the match ball.
Fiji-born England rugby number 8 Nathan Hughes has been named on the bench in their Six Nations test against Ireland this weekend. The Fiji Football Association is expected to hold a meeting with police next week after an internal investigation regarding players tested positive for drugs is complete. Fiji FA Chief Executive Muhammad Yusuf says they are taking this approach as an effort to eliminate the use of drugs amongst football players. This follows the recent suspension of 2 young women footballers last weekend, as well as 9 under-23 players who also tested positive for drugs.
But if the police department or the law enforcement agencies want information, we are ready to assist them, and then because we want everybody to involve to eliminate the use of drugs in sports.
Special Olympian Waisea Tongotongo is one of the lucky few that will don the national colors at the Abu Dhabi Special Olympics World Summer Games. The sprinter's mother, who has been his biggest mentor, says her son has been through some very tough times but has overcome this through sport. Koroi Tandolala reports.
An emotional mom who's been the driving force for Waisea Tongotongorua's journey says she never once dreamt her son would represent Fiji to an international meet.
I was hesitant and I can't believe that my son would achieve such a great feat. No one in our family has ever gone out to such a huge event like the Olympics. I am overwhelmed and just thankful to God.
The 15-year-old track and field athlete says this is his first international outing and is already eyeing 2 gold medals.
I am excited for the Special Olympic Games and I will be aiming for gold.
The Tertiary athlete will be participating in the 100-meter sprint and shot put. Meanwhile, 21 Fijian Olympians will be part of the World Summer Games from March 14th to the 21st in the United Arab Emirates. Koroi Tandulala, FBC Sports.
The Black Caps have bounced back from 3 convincing losses to India to claim a big win of their own in the 4th one-day international. New Zealand bundled out India for just 92 in Hamilton as the hosts cruised to a 8-wicket victory. In today's Play of the Day, Papua New Guinea's Fatima Rama put on one of her best performances against New Zealand at the Fiji Sevens today. She had a top speed of 32 kilometers per hour to outpace Michaela Blyde in one of the fastest times on the series so far this season. That's it from sports tonight. Angie joins you later on with weather and in new media. Check out the Anchor Soundcore wireless earphones. That's coming up.
मैं नवनीत नंद नंबुआ लुम्बुआ से जैसे प्रेनी नोट मशहूर है वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 भी सभी जगह मशहूर है। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
सीमा नकाशी से मैं रेडियो फीजी 2 पसंद करती हूँ सुनने के लिए। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
मैं हूँ अंकल किंग सिंगाटोका टाउन के टैक्सी ड्राइवर। जैसे रग्बी फेमस है वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 फेमस है।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
Tonight's new media features Anchor Liberty Air wireless earphones. And it's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. Who doesn't love this day? It's Friday and what a day. Completely cool and calm. There is no sign of sunshine though. We'll get to that a bit later, but first taking a look in the west, slight showers were throughout, more rolling in later tonight. Light drizzles were active. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, quite easy here. And up north, more of the same rainy weather. At sea, southeast winds 30 knots, very rough seas. For the tides, low tide at 10:23 p.m. with high tide at 4:43 a.m. Sunrise at 5:53. For tomorrow, you can do your normal marketing or shopping, but do take your umbrellas along as heavy showers are expected by afternoon. Tomorrow's temps, all centers are super cool because of rain. so we can expect some low 30-degree range. And looking further on to Sunday, looks like a no laundry day as the wet weather will continue. So stay safe and stay alert. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fiji and Pulse tonight, we asked, can Fiji win its first ever Sydney title?
Of course, they will. They always win, and yeah, we're all looking forward for that.
Yeah, they can win again this time. It's good team, good win. The last time they win like that.
They can win a Sydney title because they are a strong team.
Definitely. I'm a big Fiji supporter, and I'm always supporting Fiji. Win or lose, they are always on my team.
Yes, I think so, because they won last tournament. I believe they have their pick and they will win again this week.
Yes, of course they can win this title first time in Sydney because they won last week in Hamilton Sevens, and also they had a good side. Young players with the old experienced players, they have gelled well, very well, so they can win this title.
Yes, I'm confident that Fiji will win the Sydney Sevens this week because they've already won from Hamilton Sevens and the defense is so good. All of Fiji is confident that Fiji will win.
My best player is Nanduba. They will win the Sydney Sevens. Fiji will win this game because they are the smartest player. I am so scared, but I believe they will win the Sydney Sevens.
Have you ever wanted to watch an animal race? Well, there's the well-known horse race, but how about a snail race? Recapping the main stories for tonight, PM to engage with Fijians through social media, 10 charged for rape last month, and PM meets Indonesian government officials. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question segment, this week we're asking, was Fiji's win at the Hamilton Sevens one of the best performances in recent times? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day, water from the Vuna Reef hitting the jagged volcanic rocks at Vuna, South Taveuni. This was taken by our North News team Eleanor Terangai View and Josese Taletakau. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page, FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, good night.
Bula, nevang go malakai leloma, ngongai nakas untuk makarong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 ay nasere.
Hoya o basit sai sa ilambasa, ya untuk talita ina warong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 ay nasere.
Guya do tumeli, ako na tao no hinga toka, talita kina na warong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 ay nasere.
Warong tuma ng Bula FM, nambang 2 ay nasere nawaluan.
Nevang go fane na tao no go singa toka, kita untuk talita ka ng Bula FM, nambang 2 ay nasere.
Bula FM, nambang 2 ay nasere.